All right, so we're about to put this thing together. The guys are here from Levrack, came all the way from Nebraska to help me reorganize my garage. The thing I've been struggling with is exhausts, wheels, Milwaukee tools, just stuff that doesn't fit in a regular cabinet. I saw this, I don't know when, people have been sharing it to me for years. We connected via email and said, hey, let's do something together. Yeah. So I'm hoping to be able to offer this through our design services, through Obsessed Garage. And so we're gonna go through the process of the guys are gonna show us how this thing goes together, and it's gonna end up looking like this.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Levrack. We're at a storage shelving company out of Lincoln, Nebraska, just outside of Lincoln. Today at Obsessed Garage, we're setting up a 12-830. So it's a mobile aisle storage system that all suspends from a pallet rack frame. So what we set these guys up with is, like I said, our 12-830. So it's a 12-foot pallet rack with 8-foot mobile aisle system suspended underneath it with some additional storage on top. So I'll have 6 cabinets that slide back and forth on trolleys and basically kind of really condense general storage and shelving in a shop setting. The way we ship these is freight usually, so it helps to have access to a forklift, but we do also offer shipping with a lift gate. On this scenario, we've got a 12-foot upright and 12-foot beam, so it's a pretty big system, and then all of our systems ship in a crate that looks like that right there. So basically a 4x8 crate in between 8 and 1,200 pounds with everything boxed inside. So that kind of gives you an idea how it ships and how it would show up. But we're gonna set this up today and kind of show you how it goes together. It's a super simple product, but we should be able to do this in about 2 hours. Probably a little less. It's mostly just putting it together. It goes up like a big erector set basically. Yep, so the upright legs on the bottom will go up first, and then we'll set that whole frame up. And basically the trolleys and the carriages then just kind of pop right in and build it essentially from the top down. Like I said, most of our 8-foot systems will ship just in this crate, and that's kind of the beauty of our product versus like cabinets. They don't necessarily require professional installation. I mean, it's just kind of something that sets up, and you can take it with you when you leave your house if you move, or it's just kind of, it's not a permanent, it looks permanent, feels permanent, but it's not a permanent thing that you have to leave in your garage. So that's kind of an advantage we see as well. We're gonna put this beam kind of at a lower level to get that set so we can stand it, and then we'll put them at the right height. So basically it's just pallet rack attachment, so it's completely boltless. Just like you'll see at Lowe's or Home Depot, it's the same style of industrial rack, and it's all with built-in capacity. So this beam alone is like a 6,500 pound capacity beam. And that's kind of what we love about that being our frame, is it's just already built-in capacity, industrial strength stuff. So that it's just there. So no bolts, these pop in. What we'll have is the beams with the angle right there that you see on the ground, that actually supports the Levrack system. These will be for overhead for storage of other things on top. We're just gonna put this in here now to get this frame set, and then we'll set the beams at the height that they need to be for the carriages. Okay. That just gives us a freestanding platform. Now we can get that set to where we need it to be. So we have 2 different heights in our system, so 7-foot and 8-foot, and that's measured to the top of the beam. The cabinet itself will be about 81 inches, 81 to 83 inches. So and that's our tallest cabinet for that. Definitely like on a 30-inch system. When we talked through this one, that was gonna give you a little more storage inside. to go up 8 foot versus just utilizing that vertical storage. So you can see like that's the front. This beam basically this is the track on this. So the track is just welded inside of a 6-inch pallet rack beam. So that's what supports the shelving, and that's what it rolls on. Yeah. Good. At this point is kind of where we square it up and kind of level it. So we'll do that quick, but it's more just about, we also have wire deck on the top, so when you put that in, that helps to give it some square it up when you do that. We'll also look at, in a minute, we'll look at level of the floor, and we have shims that go under the foot. If you are in a situation where the floor's unlevel, I think we're pretty good here. But that's something that we'll do at this stage as well. So these are our drawers. So Rousseau makes the drawers for our systems. They basically integrate directly in. They make a bracket that integrates directly into our upright panel. So you'll see that'll be the last thing that we do. But they're like, I'll just show you real quick. So basically, it's a toolbox style drawer. The locking handle that just integrates right into the system. So that's been a cool accessory that we've added within the last 16 months-ish. And so I think we've got 4 of those for you guys to set up today. That's the frame of the trolley structure right there on the ground. So we'll put the wheels, so basically it's got 4 wheels on each, 4 guide wheels and 4 trolley wheels that hold the weight. So those will go on there. It'll take a little time to just throw those on, and then then the panels you can see just hang from the end of those. So we'll get started on that stuff.
So much more efficient than closets.
I think you'll like, I was just telling him before, we haven't done a ton of the 8 foot and the 30-inch depth. This is one of the first that AJ and I have actually installed. So, but I think it makes a ton of sense, right? I mean, you're going to use that height.
And then doing 2 shelves instead of 3 gives me room to like fit wheels and tires.
For sure.
Yeah,
you'll have whatever you want there to. I think we have 2 sets. Yeah, 2 sets above, so you'll have a little bit of room.
And what I'm going to do is inside each cabinet, like I have the Milwaukee Master Collection, so my Master Collection will be all lined up, and I have like accessory collections. So what I'm going to do is take the tool grid, like the pegboard tool grid. I'm gonna screw it to the shelves.
Yep.
When you walk in, one bay will just be like all the drill bits and all that
Perfect.
stuff all organized.
On the actual shelf, that'll look awesome. That's what we kind of love about our stuff. Is super simple, but as far as like customers accessorizing or doing their own thing, like that's what it kind of lends itself to.
Especially in the beginning, you're selling to a lot of fab shops,
We are.
like real men.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the only fake guy.
But it's just general. We kind of live in a weird area where it's not like, we're not a toolbox and we're not a cabinet. That's just, we're a shelf, and so it's kind of a unique little spot to be. So, yeah. I'll show you this one without wheels first. So this is I guess technically an unassembled trolley, but it's technically pre-assembled. So this side is gauged, so this is going to be the first side that you hang, and we'll show you that in a minute. But that's going to be the side that you hang first. Basically, our trolleys have 8 wheels on each one. So these 2 will be, the top wheels are the ones that actually carry the weight. So they're a 330-pound capacity wheel per wheel, basically. And then you'll have 4 of this. We use the same exact wheels for the guide wheels. So these keep it from basically binding. They keep it straight and basically straight and keep it from wiggling when it's up there on the track. But these come, like I said, pre-fixed. So this side will be loose. When you hang, then this will slide over, catch the track, and then you'll torque these from the bottom. And we'll show you that when we get to that point.
So what I had before, I had 5 36-inch closets. Now we're gonna have 6 30-inch closets, but I think we're picking up a little bit of height. So we're gonna have the same 180 inches of storage, just set up a little bit differently. And also, I mean, we'll see, I might keep that there. I might take that out of here, depending on what I can fit in the Levrack.
So basically, like we mentioned before, the back of the trolley that's gauged that he has in his left hand, that just basically rests up on top, and it'll actually hang there like that when you're putting it together. So then you just slide that, and then the slotted slide that's loose when it comes out of the box stays loose, and then basically you're just looking here to make sure these guide wheels are touching, and then you just torque it essentially like that. And then they'll just slide like that back and forth. So you're getting a little touch on both sides. We'll go back through and adjust so there's not any slop there, but you'll have they just roll back and forth like that. So that's kind of what you look for when you start. As we mentioned, this is a 12 footer, so you're gonna have 6 18-inch cabinets, 18-inch faces on this setup here. But this is essentially the panel that holds the shelf together. So they're reversible panels, so we have plugs, whichever side you don't use, or you can put handles on kind of whatever size. Normally when we hang uprights, we like, especially with an even number, like like 8s and 12s, you'll have 6 cabinets, so we like to open 2 together. So you have basically 3 pods, so 2, 2, and 2.
Reduces the number of openings.
Yeah, reduces the number of openings. That's our only variable is just floor leveling, but it's pretty easy to compensate with shims if we have to. But I think we're gonna be good in here.
How much shims? Like
Yeah, basically they're we have a couple different shim pieces. So the main shim, the first shim for troubleshooting would be like, it's a foot plate that fits directly under that foot plate of a pallet rack right there, of the racking. And the other shim, we actually have shims if for some reason your garage slopes this way or this way, we can actually shim these to tip back and forth a little bit if we have to. So there's some minor adjustments you can do to really get it kind of dialed in. But we can, and we will be launching it formally. Right now we can do black for no extra charge, so we can do anything in black. We will start to stock black. Right now we're at 8 weeks on the black unit. But we do have a few colors, like a matte green and a black, like a white, it's called cottonwood. Those colors are also available at no charge, just a little bit longer lead time. So. Yep, so basically the lip, this will kind of nest in here. Once we put our shelf supports in, it kind of holds us all together. But basically 2 spacers and 2 bolts and hold this together. And normally on our 7 foot tall or even a 36, you'll hang these first and kind of sandwich them with the upright panels. We're doing them here just because these are a little longer and harder to get to that.
Yeah, if you're up against the
bolt.
wall, it kind of makes it.
Yeah. these basically, these are the shelf supports. So essentially it's 2 per shelf, and they just pop in, the key slots in the actual shelf, completely adjustable. So 2 per shelf, it's that, and then a solid steel shelf that just nests in on top. We put the bottoms in first to kind of give it some support, and then it kind of is up to you, up to the end user, kind of where they want, as far as height, where they want to put shelves. And we have a mix with this one of some accessories, so some drawers, so there's some planning that goes into kind of that bank of drawers where we want to put that. We have some hanging bin rails that we'll show you too, that hang U-line bins for small parts. So right now we're finishing putting shelves in and just kind of attaching our handles. So it comes standard with 2 handles, like we said. You can, it's pretty flexible. If you did want to have all your shelves facing that way, you could. Like I said, we have them, typically we set them up in a pod system, so we put both handles together. So they'll close like this together, that way basically. It's super simple. We're not, it's very, very, very simple, but that's what most people love about our product. That's what we love about our product. There's not a lot of mechanical stuff that can go wrong. We basically do a lifetime replacement on our wheels. That's essentially the only thing that could go wrong over time, and they don't so far. So we replace those if needed. But as far as that goes, it's all again, like you said, very, very simple. We'll put the top beams up. We still have a couple LED lights that go overhead that hang from that grate so you can see, and then a couple more accessories, and then we'll be about done. So basically our drawers integrate into these, into the teardrop of the shelves. So those are the brackets. The 12-inch brackets will hold 2 drawers, so it's basically designed to have a stackable bank of 2, and then we'll have an additional one that goes right underneath, so it'll be a seamless bank of 4 drawers there, or you can split them up 2 and 2. But that's kind of normally how our customers set them up, is in a bank like that. So we'll get those in. The tracks just drop into that, and then you just slide your drawer in. So it's a pretty simple drawer assembly that can be moved and put at any height. We were looking for a drawer that had this. We had a static drawer that just didn't have a good lip. These work really well in our system. So basically, and they come with dividers too, so you can divide them vertically and horizontally.
So these drawers, I don't know how much they talked about it, but Rousseau is like Canada's Lista, and so Rousseau is another one of those amazing cabinet manufacturers. They're made in, I think, Quebec. So it's a French-Canadian product. They're using the same Austrian glides that Lista uses. And so you can incorporate, you can put as many drawers as you want.
Exactly, yeah. So
the drawers are costly.
Yeah,
right?
they are. They're expensive. I think our kit for one drawer is around $240 right now.
Okay, so that's not too bad.
But so basically the bracket that it comes with is set up for 2. So for just around basically I think $420 or $400, you can have 2 drawers and one 12-inch bracket. So that's kind of how those are set up. And they come set up with dividers inside too. So we have them all with the horizontal and vertical dividers if you want to, and they're removable, but that comes with it. So they are like a setup drawer when they come.
So what I'm planning to do is just start fumbling with it. That's what you got to do, is just start figuring out how it goes, where things go. And then I can always just go to levrack.com and I can order, accessory pieces because it's all modular. I can add, subtract, and and figure out what works best for the setup that I have with the things that I have.
Absolutely.
And then you could change it.
Yeah, I mean, it's complete, like you said.
8 years from now, I get something different, or I get some new new thing I want to store in the cabinet. I could probably reorganize.
Right. That's our goal, and we're like I said, we're about a 5-year-old, 6-year-old company, and I've really focused on our product up to this point, and now it's developing accessories. And so we have a few things coming out this fall that are new, but that's our whole goal, is to kind of just let that be your own kind of modular piece there.
How good that is.
Yeah.
That's sick. Yeah, I'm glad you chose really high quality drawers.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, that was a big, if we were going to do it, we wanted them to definitely be that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, completely modular. So whether you're storing like kids' balls or tools, or we're on the floor of a warehouse or manufacturing facility, it's all the same.
So the shelves have a back brace, a front brace, and then a cross brace in the middle to keep them from centering in the middle.
Yep.
So what is that, like a 20 gauge steel or something?
What is it, AJ? 18.
18.
Yeah.
18 gauge powder coated steel, carbon steel. That's awesome, and it's the same thing that the sides are.
Yep. This is also, the back's a little bit lighter, and the back it comes standard, but it is optional. I mean, some people won't use the back, like won't if they want access from both sides, but it does just keep stuff in the shelf.
I see. So you could.
You don't lose
leave the back off.
Yeah, you don't lose any rigidness of the outside when you do that. So
yeah, I like the back. That way I can.
If you're shoving stuff in, yeah, for sure. Yeah, so those basically integrate with like a U-line bin. So if you do have small parts or little things like that you want to organize, we'll set a couple up.
That's what I was planning. I'm going to buy just a bunch of common like BMW screws and push pins and all that stuff, and have it organized. I've got it in the drawer over there, but I think it would be better suited for this setup, where I actually buy. That's always been one of my dreams, to have have a whole Levrack with nothing but every screw, every self tap or every lag, and basically have the Home Depot, set up.
For sure.
But with the automotive bent in our Levrack.
What?
Do we send any bends?
We didn't bring any. No, but
I'll get some.
Yeah. I mean, you can. That's where you go to to our 15-inch configuration, where you can add another shelf into this, like I was saying before, where you get 7 15s instead of 6 18s. We also, when we get into custom stuff, we do a 24-inch wide as well. So if you did have something where you could go 4 24s and an 18 and still have a decent aisle like that. But it's all kind of aisle management for us.
So we can do, what he's talking about is the width here. So you can do a 15.
Yep.
And so in this 12-foot array, instead of 6, you'd have 7.
Correct.
Or you could go bigger if you had bigger.
Yeah, you could go 4 24s basically and an 18.
Gotcha.
So.
But see, I'm gaining height versus there, because those are like 80 inches tall. So this is a true 8 feet, right? Minus an inch on the bottom.
Yeah, you're a little short. You're 6. So 8 foot measures to the top of the beam.
Gotcha.
So you're 7.5, a little over 7.5.
So I'm gaining in this particular spot. I had 4 36s. So now I have 6 30s.
Yep.
So 180 inches plus, let's say, another 6 inches of height.
Yep.
So I'm gaining quite a bit of storage capacity.
Yeah, just a volume. Yeah.
Plus, then of course, those cabinets I only had above the cabinet, but here we're going to have another
2
shelf
tiers.
over,
Yeah.
above that.
Yep.
Yeah, this is sick. And then you could just throw it right on top of the Swiss track. So we could choose to bolt it or not, right?
Yeah, it's totally up to you. Like if you were, I'd say in a scenario where you're constantly using a forklift, then you'd bolt it to the floor.
I was putting pallets of brake rotors up there, then I might want to bolt it.
Because if you catch it or something, and you could pull it. But yeah, as it is now, that center of gravity is kind of pulled down from there. The other piece we don't have here, but we can send, is the external slat wall, which you have a lot of surface storage as well, but we do have slat wall that just basically tech screws to the outside of one. We have it for the inside, but you also could have, here you're kind of covered, but we could close this all in with an aluminum slat. We kind of make that all solid. So that's an option too, just to close it up. But so we'll end up and you can kind of mess with it, Matt, however you want.
Yeah.
But we'll end up with quite a few extra shelves just with the layout that we have set up there.
Okay. I could readjust.
Yeah. Kind of add however you want.
Cool.
We'll get those beams shown up.
So you guys started this at like 9:30,
Yeah.
and you'll be done in.
Yeah.
Time is it now?
I think I'm back. I'm on Nebraska time. It's 11:30.
So yeah. So 2 hours, but you know what you're doing. So double that, worst case.
Yeah, worst case. And especially like the getting it up into 12-foot uprights is kind of
Taller stuff's more difficult.
takes a little more time to kind of get that stuff going. But yeah, I mean, that's what we usually say, 2 to 3 hours for a 12-footer like this. So.
Are there any? You had the bolt. Or what did you secure? Just these? This is it, right?
That's it. So it's 4 bolts to hold that.
Right. And then all this is key hold, and so it just snaps together.
Yeah, really 6 bolts after
handles.
the trolley goes down. Yep. And then the handles. Otherwise, it's pretty well a boltless system as far as after your initial assembly is complete. So
This is so cool.
it looks good in here.
Yeah, it matches the whole theme. You know.
We did. I don't know if you've seen. We started working with Gator magnets. They're out of Minnesota, but it's basically like we're the only company that that they've done like the branding with.
Yeah.
But basically it'll hold 25. It's a 25-pound magnet. It just flips open. You can stick them anywhere. We brought a couple for you too, but kind of cool. That's
Gator. I think don't they make tow hooks too?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's where I've seen those before.
Yeah.
Gosh, I thought we were going to be doing this all day. I was like, well, they'll get started, and then I got to get my meetings out of the way, and then I'll come and help, put it together. We'll be done by 5 or 6, something like that.
It's kind of our goal is to have it just as simple as possible. Otherwise, AJ and I wouldn't want to do the install. So it's just kind of and we want the customer to be able to do it themselves and not be a completely crazy deal. So our whole concept around like where mobile aisle was when we kind of started this is that you couldn't buy a mobile aisle system. We loved the concept, but it just wasn't available to a consumer without modifying your floor or doing something crazy.
Yeah, like Lista has, I forget what they call it, where they they have the one where you can like walk upstairs and stuff like. But you're talking $150,000,
Exactly.
to do, and they don't even really do like it's a simple. You'd have to get they get really really sophisticated, really complicated.
Yeah, I mean you're basically cutting into your concrete, putting in that track system, and then it's there forever. I mean it's even in this footprint, it's kind of that 12x4 footprint is where we started.
Yeah.
Basically, that was a $20,000 to $50,000 product, and where ours is, starting in that $3,500 to $6,500 range right now.
So this all in with all the accessories and stuff is probably somewhere a little just shy of $8,000, something like that.
Yep, just under, probably including shipping, just right around $8,000.
Yeah. And right now you're looking at 6 to 8 weeks from order to delivery.
Yeah, I mean honestly, anything that you can buy on our site right now, we're probably closer to 4 weeks maximum to your door.
Yeah.
That's been something that everything's made in Nebraska and Wisconsin. It's been something that we, even through this whole stuff that we've been going through the last 2 years, I've wanted to keep. If somebody's going to commit to spending that much for their garage, we feel like. We want to get it to them as fast as we can. So we're small, so we can say that and do it, but we're still there now, so we're happy with our lead times right now.
It was a really smart decision, right? Who knew that getting anything from overseas was going to be impossible, right?
I know, it's been a wild couple of years.
So this is all in a production facility. This is jigged out. They just have a jig set up, and they just lay in the angle
and that's another advantage that we have, having that kind of in our backyard is custom lengths and stuff too. So if you a goofy 6.5 foot beam or something, it's not like an act of God to get that done. Like it's standard. So if you were trying to fit, even if you were trying to go to that wall, if you had, with just racking, we can do that too. And we talked about that, but that's kind of another piece that we want to, even on our website, when you build product now, you can add additional power rack.
So like the workstation add-on stuff,
And that's just, again, it's just super simple hooking into this pallet rack attachment point here.
So what did you guys do in the beginning? You just started posting it and people would just build the order? They just hit you up, hey, I'd like to have that
We
too?
had like one big size, a 12-foot beam, and
We started with this width, yeah. This was
we've
our,
gone down in size from the beginning.
Yeah.
Just to fit more
I
area.
think where I can help a lot is I'm going to come up with some ideas of organizing stuff
Yes.
and how to set this up, and I plan on spending a lot of time just kind of playing with how I'm setting things. One of the biggest problems I've had is I'll buy a new car and then I order 57 parts and then the parts are like all lined up on the cabinets and laying on the floor, and so one of the things I wanted, that's why I bought all these, which isn't super efficient. I bought all these so I could put the parts in.
Yep.
And then the problem I was having is that, I needed something above it to hold.
Yep.
And so when you reached out, I'm like, I've been thinking about this for a long time. We really need to build something here.
Yeah.
And then I asked you, can I sell it? You're like, well, I don't know. We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to figure out.
Yeah, we totally, I think that makes a ton of sense. And we talked about that a little bit too, but that's we've been direct to consumer. But we know that that's the next step, so.
Yeah, some certain companies like mine that I think we can provide some additional value. Find some new customers.
I love that. I mean, I think it's,
We're doing a lot of I'd say a good 25 or 30% of our design customers are building something bigger than this. They're building a big facility, and so to have something like that somewhere makes a lot of sense. I
think it's just kind of we're just a good. We've always. Everybody's like, oh, we already have a toolbox, right? But we see ourselves as just a complement to a toolbox.
Exactly. I mean, there's so much stuff that doesn't fit in there.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got a 27-foot array and I can't fit half the stuff in it. As you run out of room.
You do, and it's specialized, and it's great if you have what you want to put in there, but you still there's no replacement for a shelf at some point. The one thing we don't have yet that we also owe you is the bucket shelf piece on the 30-inch, and that's a new piece. That's a recessed shelf with those dividers.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha.
That's one that will also be coming to you that you can play with as well. That's
Another way to organize your stuff.
So it's almost like the drawer, but without the pull-out.
Basically, yeah.
Like a cubby or something.
Got it. Yeah, see, I'm excited to kind of just set up. I'm going to have the Master Collection, Milwaukee Master Collection, so I want to have it here on display. People come and visit all the time, open it up, and then same thing with the accessories. So I'm going to put the Master Collection tools, Master Collection accessories right next to each other.
That'd be awesome.
And grid it all out. It's going to look awesome.
Oh, that's
Do
good.
I need to grab some ladders to put this up?
Yeah, ladder would help. We'll, me and AJ can crawl up there. And then we can set them, they're 6 inches. We'll put one right on top?
I think very top and then
one in
shoot
the
the
middle.
gap.
Okay.
Yep. This is the first time I've ever had anybody do anything for me. I always have to do everything myself. This is awesome.
If you walk down there and grab it, can you reach it from him and I'll just carry it up? You got it? You want to? Yeah, we'll just put this one on first.
And this helps shore it up even more.
We might have to push for me.
Oh, you're gonna have to get up in here.
I'll do it for you. Yeah,
I'm afraid of heights.
that's okay.
Seriously, if I get up there, I won't get
These
down.
are.
I could get in there, but it would be shaky. I'd be
Okay. Yep. That's the one thing we've had to battle a little bit with, pallet rack material quality for us. It's just not.
quite. Yeah.
They don't. It's never needed. It's never needed to be great. But it's just not. So, that's the one. We're working on some new decking that just doesn't look like it's bowed like that. Just it's an inside waterfall, so it goes inside the beam versus outside.
Well, that has been building a precision cabinet around non-precision.
Yeah. They just want to. They just all you just need it to be there.
I mean, yeah, it's got a hold. Yeah. So we've had some difficult. It's been a difficult, just transition and adoption, and we can't afford to like go and
Build
buy a
from
roll
scratch.
former and start. We're lucky enough to actually have that in our backyard, but it's just, and they're great to work with. So
Yeah,
there you go, pretty
that
much.
is sick. Just made this place feel so much more legit. Look at that. That's super legit. All right, man, this is awesome. Thank you for putting this together. We're going to be working together in the future, and I'm going to be doing some organization of this and playing with that, shoot some more videos. But right now, currently, people want to buy this, they go to Levrack.com. You guys have a huge Instagram following, lots of cool pictures there on it. And then the design tool, which you guys built, so you can, like, that's how I came up with this, is I went in and designed it.
For sure.
And I said, hey, does this make sense? And then, you reached out, or I guess someone from your team, probably reach out to the customer. But we're looking at, was it somewhere around $8,000 landed here, landed to your house for this 12-foot setup. But you have, what, 8 foot, 10 foot?
7, 8, 10, and 12.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you can do a shorter
7 or 8
version as
foot
well.
height. Yep.
You don't have to do the upper rack. And so if you have a regular size garage with a lot of, crafts and
Exactly.
Your wife's garbage Christmas ornaments, stuff like that.
We store it all. Yeah.
I'm sure people do that. But if you have a garage like mine, you just want to be more organized. This just looks, I just think this looks so much better, so much more substantial.
Yeah.
And I might even leave your logo on it.
You should. Or put a big obsessed O on the front or something.
I'm generally a pretty logoless, but I thought about that, or maybe get some vinyl that spreads across. I've seen some of the pictures of people that have done that.
Yep.
Is that a service do you guys do, or that's just people
We're gonna offer that. So we had just kind of, if customers wanted it, we'd get it done for them, or they vinyl's just easier to put on like this. So a lot of times we just have somebody locally do it for them.
Gotcha.
So we have all those files. So if you do want it, we have the area and everything. Cool. Customers can do that.
But all the stuff made in the U.S.
Yeah.
And you're shipping it all. You're right in the middle of the country, so it's easy to ship to all coasts.
We're the same. Yeah, we're just the same. We're as close to everything and as far away from everything as the same deal. So.
And you saw, you might want to rent at least a bagster, one of those little portable dumpsters.
Yep.
We're gonna fill up the dumpster with
you end up with a lot of stuff. And that's been our goal too, is just to be able to protect everything when we ship it all at once.
Build a crate.
But it does, they can drop it with a lift gate, so it's not completely necessary that you have, like with your 12-foot uprights in the custom piece, not necessarily custom, but adding those, you just get into that overlength category with freight, and that's something so it is something to expect, but if you're putting a lift or anything in your garage, it's something that you kind of get accustomed to.
So you can get it. It was easy. We have a forklift here, but you can get it off the truck, and you could just pop the ties and grab the uprights and carry it in yourself, even if you're going to do something big like this in your garage, your house, without the stuff. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to do the organization. I'm pumped. The Rousseau drawers with Austrian glides. I'm pumped to get some storage bins and start to put all the little parts and pieces of all the like screws and stuff that I have in the drawers there, which is going to cause me to reorganize those drawers, because I'm going to transfer some stuff back and forth. I've got a good month's worth of work to get this thing set up the way I want. And then there's also some lighting, which we didn't show you. I'm going to play with their lighting and maybe do some max lights in here and kind of play with that stuff. Yeah, I'm excited, man. The only thing we didn't show was the pocket drawer or pocket shelf.
Yeah, the bucket shelf.
Bucket shelf, we call it. Where it's a shelf with a lip, with storage bins, kind of like inside the drawer here, but it has separators.
Like a recessed shelf it comes standard with 3 dividers. But we'll get some sent out.
But I got a little bit of everything, so I could kind of show it, and we'll do some more follow-up videos when the guys aren't here, but when I'm just doing organization. So I'll show you. Maybe we'll do a video on each shelf that I put together, and kind of show you how the thing works and put some stuff up top. I don't intend on using this for long-term storage. For me, this is so that I don't end up with the stuff on the side, and I can keep my floor open, and so that's where this adds a huge element over my Sonic cabinets that I had here. So, but I could see a lot of people just do this in your garage, do this on your back wall.
For sure. If you have the depth, like we mentioned, this is 30, so you have 30, 36, 42, and 48. So kind of hopefully fits, most places.
Yeah. And then maybe you don't go for the 8-foot version, do the 7. Maybe it won't feel so big and giant. But if you got the space. I mean, I envision this a lot, and you have a shop, you build out back. A lot of people are doing that kind of thing, and having this as a complement to your toolbox or your regular cabinet.
Exactly.
array.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for the guys coming down here to help us out here. And we'll probably have this in the Obsessed Garage store at some point here. But go to levrack.com, get the stuff ordered. And I think I can tell. I'm not saying that. Everybody knows that I would tell you I hated it if you just standing in front of me. I'd still tell you, but I'm excited. I'm pumped for this.
Yeah.
I was pumped when it showed up, and I'm even more pumped to see it in person. The color just fits
Looks good in here,
fits
man.
my whole
Yeah.
MO.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks, Matt.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate everyone.